As the trade deadline approaches, teams in the NLL must weigh strategy and sacrifice against one another. The Winds have not been stacking in Rock City, and on February 25th, 4 major pieces of this team were moved, sending shockwaves around the league.
And it is Robert Hudson and a first going to the Toronto Rock in exchange for goaltender Nick Rose and defender Tyler Hendricks.
What followed was more than a roster shuffle. It was a signal that short-term uncertainty was the price for long-term prosperity.
Chris Corbeil, Mitch DeSnoo off to Philadelphia as they move out a draft pick.
The path forward for the Toronto Rock required change with a plan for the future.
Toronto Rock are loaded up with draft picks.
Trade wars are not about the deals made. They're about who steps forward in the aftermath.
He took him easy on me. He took him easy on me.
You know, when we lost to Georgia, that was it. Another tough loss. And I just kind of left the arena that night and said, you know, that's the last time. Sometimes you got to make the tough decisions and make the right move before it's too late. Unfortunately, with the way the season has gone, with the injuries and everything to start, you know, it just kind of got to the point where, you know, we were going to have to do something pretty heroic. We were so injured, and I looked at our schedule, and I knew when guys would be coming back, and I thought, like, there's a good chance we're going to be 0-5 here. Okay, well, if we're 0-5, that means we probably got to go 9-4 the rest of the way to make the playoffs. If we were healthy, could be doable. A couple weeks ahead of the trade deadline, kind of knew what I wanted to do, and we did it. You know, we just hadn't given ourselves any more room for error. I just felt like it was time to pounce. But, you know, I really truly believe that there's a plan. I have a plan. You know, our team is definitely going to be better moving forward, starting next year for making those deals. Yeah, definitely tough to tell those guys about it. All right, well, listen, I mean, obviously it's been a f***ing whirlwind couple days here. You know, there's a lot of guys, you know, and it'll start with Rosie. I mean, like, the kid's like a f***ing son to me. And you know, listen, unfortunately, you know, we're in the spot we're in. I wanted to talk to you. I'm not quitting on you guys, and there's a lot of character in this room, and you know, most of the guys in this room are, you know, in the future plans of this team. You know, that's the intentions, and you know, we got a lot of good lacrosse players in here, a lot of character, a lot of pride. I know that we'll go out and play hard. I know that we'll represent the logo well, which is, you know, number one for me. And I really believe that all the stuff I've done so far, and you know, there might be a few more, but all that stuff is, you know, to help this team get to the top, because we just haven't got there. So, and get to the top next year, you know, and if we do it along the way this year, hey, you know, what a f***ing story that would be.
Obviously a tough 24, 48 hours here, but at some time as a group we got to move past it, okay? I realize it's real fresh, but let's have a good, sharp, crisp outing here tonight, and then we'll regroup and we'll be back here the following Tuesday.
It's not a position that anybody thought we would be in at the start of the season, and you know, any time that you can't end the season with the team you have is not ideal. Always a tough situation to say goodbye to people like that. You know, it was tough. There's a lot of emotions going through everyone, myself included, and you know, everyone in that room lost people that they care about, right, or saw them get traded, right? So eventually you get to a point where, okay, it's unfortunate, it happened. It's the reality is it happened, and you got to move on.
Obviously, in situations like this, man, it blows. Like, I feel all those emotions. I'm sure everyone does, right? And most teams in this situation, two options, and one of those options just doesn't do it for this team, this organization, right? We all have new opportunity. We all have to step up and be better moving forward, and we still have one goal, and that's making playoffs, right? It starts with next week, so let's get better from here on out. Let's go. Have a cracky here tonight. Rock on 3. 1, 2, 3. Rock.
It was by no means a fire sale. What it was a bunch of unrestricted free agents that I got really good value for. It was, what can I do to make this team better as fast as possible? You know, I always say to people, social media is interesting. Like, you gotta take it all with a grain of salt, and I like it for information. I don't really go on there and read too much, which, you know, normally I read some stuff and whatever, but for some reason I just didn't. Rosie's been here for, I think, 13 years. Like, I know he's closer to my age than my kid's age, but he kind of feels like a son to me. Like, you know, he was pretty young when he came here, and he sees it on social media too, because I was looking for him here to talk to him. It was tough, you know, like, you don't want to tell him too early, and then you want to have the deal done, and then you want to get him, and I'm looking for him here, and while I'm looking for him, like, you know, he's on social media, the trade, not from me or not from Calgary, and I did get to him right away, and I said yes, you know, and this is true. This is now, I wanted him to hear about it. I mean, he deserved better than that, but that's today's day and age. So I think as people, the more they understand kind of what we're doing and see how everything plays out here in the end, they'll understand. But, you know, on the surface, when those deals are made, I get why, you know, specifically our fans would be saying, what's going on here? You know, so.
4 new faces on the roster meant it was time for a mini media day to prepare new video board assets for the next home game, and an opportunity for those new players to share their thoughts on joining the Rock mid-season.
And then just look.
Oh, my hair.
Yeah, you're good. Look up straight into the camera.
Yeah, right? Oh, it's not gonna stay.
I'll
do the old Yager salute.
kind of just like look at the camera, you know, like you're serious, you know, like just a little bit of attitude, you know, just have some fun with that. Punch your hand, you know, you're defensive, you're tough, kind of like mean mug, like, yeah, like, perfect. You got a goal celly, like a fist pump, you twirl your stick.
No.
First name, last name, and your junior A team.
Which one?
Whatever one was your favorite.
I wasn't expecting a trade. It was unexpected, and I'm actually excited to be here. They've treated me well, and I like the organization.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right? Like you know, you're playing, you know, with a different group of guys, and you know, it's a lot of new faces, a lot coming at you at once.
To get that call, it was a great opportunity, and I'm here to seize it and prove to the organization and myself that's where I belong. Obviously, I was released and picked up, so I have something I got to show for and something I can play for. And so when the opportunity came arise, I've had some history here with the summer ball, so I know the head staff, some of the players here and everything like that. But also it was time for this team to rebuild and fight a little bit for this season and capture some fire going into the next half, and that's kind of what we're doing. Yeah, obviously season riding down, and we got a lot to do, a lot to climb, and playoffs are still in the picture, so I'm going to do everything for myself and for this team to get us there.
Hoping to bring my my ability to play the game and help them get towards playoffs, make playoffs, and hopefully make a run.
I'm always going to be that kind of piss and vinegar all over the floor. Never really stop moving my feet. I always like to get my teammates open, facilitate, and things like that. And we have such great ball carriers, and
shooters like Tom and Corey and Josh and among other names as well. Just to be out there amongst and facilitate and get those guys open, but also cash in on my opportunities. It's like exactly what I'm looking to do. Yeah, I might like scream to get into it. Woo!
Yeah, it's different. Like if you look at the Toronto Rock for the past however many bets, it's been a group of familiar faces, and to get some new guys in is different. Just kind of bring that energy. Obviously, it's guys that want to stay in the lineup and play with some jam. So, to have that new sense in the locker room and whatnot, sometimes can't be a bad thing.
How's that, Boosh?
Number 6?
Yeah.
Isn't that retired?
Who's your favorite player? Brad Creed.
Paul Dawson.
Born and raised.
I was laying it up.
Like the segue. Oh, damn, just devastated.
When I signed my first contract with Calgary, Mike Board called me. I was like in the cab on the way to the airport. I was like at Queens at the time. And I'm like in the airport on the way to the Kingston, or in the cab on the way to the Kingston airport. And he calls me, he goes like, "What number do you want?" I'm like, "Number 9. He's like, "I've been retired here for like 10 years. Maybe pick something else." And I'm like, "Who?" And then I get there, I'm like, "Oh, Koleski's jerseys hanging in the rock." I'm like,
I wore 66 in Halton.
"Oh yeah?"
And then I got the call yesterday, and he goes, "There's just no chance." I was like, I'm not even gonna ask. I'm like, I'm not even gonna ask.
All right, boys, take her easy on Go Up. Welcome aboard. Up tempo. All right, we need some life here. We need some boost. I need you to be loud. Phil, I need you to be loud. Let's just have a little bit of fun here and get back to work. Okay? Let's go, boys.
Let's go, boys. Rock on 3. 1, 2, 3.
"Yeah, Elrob."
I like that.
Be a little meaner to each other.
We got a lot of lacrosse left and in front of us. It's up to us what we want to make of it. I thought tonight was a real good first step. I'm excited to see what happens on Friday. All right, don't kid yourselves. We got a lot of lacrosse in front of us, a lot to play for, and it starts on Friday.
Just every time we get together, every time we're on that floor, just another opportunity for us to f***ing buzz. Right? Play some rock ball. Here we go, rock on 3. 1, 2, 3. Rock!
Right,
Boys, good
f***ing rock ball.
After waiting in the shadows for an opportunity since being drafted in 2019, Troy Holochuk gets his chance to step into the spotlight for his first NLL start against the Halifax Thunderbirds.
I've always believed in Troy. Troy was always the best at his age group, or as good as anyone, in my opinion.
I played Team Ontario with him growing up. Played in some Rock Elite with him as well. And yeah, he's always been a really good goalie. So it's cool to see him finally get the opportunity and take advantage of it on Friday night.
We want to play. We've wanted to play him in the winter. It's tough. Once a game, Rosie's been on a heater for the last 3-4 years. You can play your goalie every week. And every week's so important. So it's tough to get him in those situations.
We all knew eventually this opportunity was going to come for him. Not necessarily under these circumstances, but excited to see what he can do with it and watch him run with it.
It's a new era. Nick Rose is gone. Chris Corbeil, Mitch Desnew, all gone. But it is a moment for Troy Holochuk to get his first ever start in the National Lacrosse League.
So here come the Thunderbirds with a free possession. Hogarth. Near side Clark Peterson. He'll shoot. Oh, there's the first save for Holochuk. And the Toronto Rock, despite the fire sale, despite Troy Holochuk playing his first ever start, come into Halifax and get a massive road win to keep their season alive.
It's unbelievable. I mean, these guys battled so hard all night. Our offense was on, but to come in here and put up 15 is just ridiculous. So, can't be more thankful for my guys in the organization to give me this chance, and can't be more thankful for the battle we put on. Like, we're still here to compete, we're still here to battle, and we're gonna get on a roll here.
Here we go.
I've had this in my bag for too long, so it's good to give it up, and there's no question. It's going to 9. Come on! That was a real special effort, top to bottom, to get that win. There's been a lot of going on the last couple weeks, but we come out and we get that win in Halifax. We're keeping this thing rolling. Let's go. Just the beginning here. Rock on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I do believe Troy is the goalie of the future with the Toronto Rock. 100%. I really do. And one game won't tell the story, 2 games won't tell the story, 7 games won't tell the story. But it's a great opportunity for him, to get a taste and see how he does. And I hope I'm right, but I'm betting on him. I mean, I'm committed to him, and I'm glad he'll get this opportunity. And, I don't think this 7 games is a do or die whether Troy Holochuk is the future goalie of the Toronto Rock. I believe he is the future goalie of the Toronto Rock. We'll see how it plays out.
Now, obviously, I think, we haven't had a great record at home here, per se, either. Let's change that tomorrow night. I think part of it is shoot around tomorrow morning, we're dialed in, and then when we get to the rink, we're dialed in, right? Like, we're down to, the final straws here. We still got a, chip, so we still got a chair for us. Let's go keep that for one more week. All we can worry about is tomorrow's game, right? Let's be good tomorrow.
Thanks here, man. Hurry up, Bruce. Get a hate on right now. Get a hate on right now.
Go, Nate. Break us down here, buddy.
Come on, fellas, eh? Take the night, prepare ourselves, and let's go tomorrow.
Rock on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now is the time, there's no more waiting. Who will you be when the light dawns? Sweat on your palms and your pulse is racing. Who will you be when the moment comes? Will you rise? Will you rise to be heroes? Blood on your knuckles, heroes. The world on your shoulders, heroes. Giving everything you've got, fighting till victory's won, heroes.
Boys, I don't need to say a whole lot, right? When we have the opportunity to keep this group together and play for each other, we can do it, right? Play with passion, play hard, and we'll get the result that we earned. Okay, here we go. Rock on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Here we go. Look at Latrell Harris using that physicality. And it creates a turnover for the Rock. Rock offense, full control here. Rearing back and scores! Rogers, swim moves, the captain, kicks it back to the point for Boucher. Finds Rogers again. Over point blank range and scores! Dalek backpedaling, 15 to shoot. Being pushed back. Rogers to the point, scores! The captain! Boy, Shanny, this is the best Toronto's offense has looked, I think, all season. Philly still being pushed out. Recitaritz, longtime veteran. Recitaritz, sidearm. Oh, kick save by Holochuk. Under 4 to play in the opening quarter. And using Gash to create some space with that big physical frame. Oh, went for the one-touch and almost carried. Mike Stalick, wide open look, scores! 5-hole from number 8. And it is 4-1 Toronto. 1 second and it is done. The first quarter.
Toronto's out shooting Philly 24-6.
Philly right in close. Holochuk, what a stop. What a save. No time to rest. Holochuk's stick got knocked. Gets smashed.
Some
Ball
good
free.
defense by a couple of Rock players.
Whacked it and tried to take advantage, yeah. Being double teamed. How did he keep it? Corey Small. Unreal. Catches Latrell Harris inside. Harris scores! Number 93, Latrell Harris. Makes it 5-2 Toronto. 8 to shoot. Up close and knocking into Holochuk.
I think he's going to get a penalty for that. Interference, goaltender interference.
35 seconds on the power play remain for Toronto. Almost given away. Rogers, 2 to shoot. Jumping, diving, scoring! A superhero goal from Bushi. Here comes Philadelphia. There's Pat, one of the two Philly goals. Pat might do it himself. He does. Kick save. Denied by Holochuk. Here comes Toronto. There's Weir. Weir with a pass diving and said it was in the crease anyway. Did the official for Brad Cree. And Holochuk, that almost looked like a knuckleball, sort of floated.
And Nathan Brennan was stuck playing defense, but he picked up that rebound.
There's Martin off the bench and John scores! Josh Nowick! Another soaring in off the bench. And he buries it. Second of the night, 31st of the season. Resetaritz at the point. Resetaritz. High pass finds Holochuk with the kick save. 1 second left, and that'll bring it in. And a huge hit. 10.5, and it's not over yet. Philly Toronto getting physical. 8-2 the score. Toronto Rock leading the Philadelphia Wings.
That's a team effort out there. Doing everything for each other. Great fucking job.
They're getting looks. Troy's making the stops. You're on their hands. Just bury them, all right? Just bury them. Let's go.
And we know what to do, Boo. We know what to do.
Gash with a big hit. Oh, Elijah Gash is feeling it today. He's throwing that big body around. Behind the back shot, stopped by Holochuk. There, here comes Toronto. Full head of steam. The Rocket shot in. Scores! Philadelphia getting physical. Nowick falling. Off old teammate Desnu. Bushi over the quick sidearm. Not what to say. Here's Desnu. Rumbling up the floor. Desnu switches hands.
Well, it's such an odd feeling watching Mitch Desnu run up with the ball and not for the Toronto Rock.
Still Desnu double team. Now it's knocked loose, and Toronto comes up with him. Harris on the near boards. Now see the athleticism of Harris. Look at that swim move. Just guys that dives underneath. What an athlete. Nice pick and roll. Scores! Short-handed! And a fist bump from Nathan Grennan. Oh, then the ball got knocked free. He's now flailing for it. There's Dan Craig. Who has it? 41 seconds to go. And sliding's McCannell in front of the Rock bench. Is that another penalty? The parade to the penalty box continues for the Rock Shanty. Philadelphia's power play back on. 5 seconds and scores! The Wings, with 3.8 seconds left on the clock, get their 5th of the night. And it is on the power play. Oh, and Desnu got smacked. We know he loves that shot.
We've seen quite a battle before the face-off.
Yeah. There. Wouldn't mind if a couple of gloves drop.
And that's the third straight goal for Toronto. So just when Philly needed to go on a run, Toronto has.
Yeah, whoa, here we go! We got a fight right now, all right. It's Ryan Wagner, and it's Brad Cree. Wagner, the helmet's off. Cree lays the lumber on the left. He's underneath. Spears him into the goal, and they're both down. Wagner ends up on top of Cree. Got a couple good uppercuts underneath. Both men up, and they jog off, and you see the red marks on the face of Wagner from the fists of Brad Cree.
You're lucky. Pump your face harder. You're f***ing lucky. I f***ing took it easy on you. I f***ing took it easy on you. There's a 1 minute major that we're going to review.
Okay, so this is off the face-off. Let's take a look at this. That's a high hit.
Oh! Yeah, Erlin. I don't know if Erlin was even looking there. His head snapped back.
That's a dirty. Vulnerable.
Here's Toronto creeping in through a screen. Oh, that went off the crossbar. Philly with the ball right back. Here's Sowers. Resetaritz scores! 3-quarter delivery over the shoulder of the defender. And he picks up his first of the night. Philly wants one more for pride. 34 left in the game. Down by Holochuk. What a game for Troy Holochuk. And it is over! The Rock have defeated the Wings 15-8 and keep their playoff hopes alive.
Oh yeah.
A lot of good stuff there tonight, boys. Troy just not tested a lot, but outstanding. Sometimes those are tougher games for goalies when you're not tested a lot. It took about 10 minutes to get the first shot right. When you were, though, outstanding. Defensively on hands, loose balls, just kind of setting the tone. And offense, you got the same thing up front with repeat possession. We talked about staying, playing for meaning, for the next week, for our next practice, staying relevant, and that's what we did tonight. So, hell of a job.
Fellas, hell of a effort top to bottom, right? Defense, that was ridiculous, Just all game on hands and physical. Offense, way to get the job done up there. Guy came in, big energy guy. We needed him tonight, 28.
Come on, Nate.
We're going to do 8.
Let's go, Gretzky. Let's have some fun here, boys. That was a great game. Great time with you boys.
Rock on 3. 1, 2, 3. Rock.
When the dust of the deadline settled, gone were the familiar faces and voices of leaders in the room. In their place stood a new foundation, not a rebuild, but a recalibration.
And hopefully we can, like I said, scare a few people along the way here and see what happens. So our team is our team. We're past the deadline. Here we are. You make your bed. Go to sleep in it.
Well, we still have an opportunity, and that's how we look at it, and that's how we feel. We realize our margin for error is slim to none, but we're going to approach it a week at a time. We just want to be 1-0 each and every week. Cliche, but it's the truth. We want to keep competing here, keep finding some wins so we can make our last 2 or 3 games relevant, even if we need to win them all.
While the postseason chances for this team may still be uncertain, the future, being built in Rock City, will make every challenge this season worth it.
I said to the team, it'd be a hell of a story if, we traded away 4 of our better players, got ridden off by everyone as fire sale and this and that, and then we went on some sort of run and, maybe let people know we're not done yet.
Probably also have shoes on.
I said March 22nd, I got 2 wheelchairs ordered, so, it was, Gasher, you gotta get Mitch, by the way. I already put that one out there.
I know, I'm just really going to say something else.
Oh, got his bucket there.
Brennan, you all right? Everything okay? Oh my God.
These are just the old-time. Brennan's definitely wearing a cape to the game tomorrow.
Hey, Phil.
Yeah.
So that rash you had last week.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh, sorry.